is kind of real and badass, to be honest. Even if you aren't a comic and movie fan, you've probably heard of Aquaman. I'll describe him very quickly to jog your memory. A member of DC's infamous Justice League, King of Atlantis, has the ability to breathe underwater exactly like a fish. Can even talk to fish too and eat them. He's a pretty neat guy. The actor who portrays him in the current DC cinematic universe is definitely one for the books. Jason Momoa, a native Hawaiian. Jason Momoa's only job isn't being a $14 million actor, but also an environmentalist. But why? Short answer, it's in his blood. And long answer, his father is in Hawaiian descent, and mother is from the Midwest. While growing up in Iowa, he was immediately disappointed that people in the mainland took water for granted. But in the islands, water is life. Every aspect of life is tied to the water. Rather than just showing up on set and pretending to be the protector of the seven seas for a fat $15 million check, he works behind the scenes with his water company, Mananalu, which means an unstoppable wave of change. What a pretty name, right? To prevent plastic trash from further polluting our precious, innocent seas and their creatures. His company packages water in aluminum containers rather than plastic bottles. You might wonder why bother? Isn't plastic recyclable anyway? I mean, there are thousands of those blue containers everywhere. Well, apparently, not as much as we think. Only 9% of all plastic ever produced has been recycled. More frightening statistics ahead. 18 billion freaking pounds of plastic enter our ocean each year, and if we continue at this rate, by 2050, which is in 28 years, there will be more plastic than fish in the ocean. Why bother? We all need to change our diet anyway. So Jason Momoa's company strives to replace plastic water bottles with aluminum ones, because aluminum is much more easy recycled and doesn't contain 3 different plastics like, well, plastic bottles. I definitely prefer my extremely healthy Coke, Coors Light beer in Arizona with their simply recyclable aluminum can over the obviously unhealthy water with its deadly plastic. He and his company have partnered with Earth Angel, a sustainable film production company, and provided aluminum canned water for their sets. Together, Earth Angel and Mananalu have avoided using over a whopping 2.5 million single-use plastic water bottles. He not only tries to save the fish from the 8 million tons of plastic bottles, but his culture and mountains in his homeland. He spent countless hours fighting the construction of the 30-meter telescope in Mauna Kea, a dormant volcano essential for water supply for Hawaiians, and considered sacred for native Hawaiians. He and only he represented the island nations before the United Nations General Assembly to testify about climate change and its effects on Smile Island communities. At the end, he said, "Our planet is nothing more than an island floating against an ocean of stars. We must work together as a global community to best steer our canoe in the right direction. The direction of a healthy and abundant future on Earth that we could call home." Well, goddamn, what an ending. Jason Momoa doesn't just act as Aquaman, King of the Sea. He does his best off-screen as well to protect the world we live in and the oceans that surround us. He uses his platform for good, garnering support and attention to climate change issues with the fame he gains from his film production. While we may not be able to have a worldwide impact like Momoa, we can still do our best to follow in his example and strive to protect our world and its oceans, or buy even more plastic bottles. Up to you, really.